Okay. Good afternoon, everybody. We are here to talk about how to manage a documents page on your website. There's a lot of reasons that you might want to upload files that are not just images to your website. PDF files specifically is what we're going to be talking about today. The example that we're going to mainly be looking at during this session is a library board document page. So you may want to be able to make your agendas, minutes, meeting packets, bylaws, annual reports available on your website for the public to access. There are a lot of other reasons that you might want to upload PDFs to your website, but this is going to be the one that we'll use as an example today. A couple of notes about PDFs in general. On our websites, the way they are functioning right now, a PDF will always appear as a link. It will not appear as an image or a preview of that PDF. Future plans for future days is to research ways to do a really nice PDF preview on your website. However, the plugins that we have experimented with for that so far have not been reliable. And they do just continue to either have conflicts with Divi or conflicts with WordPress. And so we are not promoting any of those openly at this time. We're just experimenting with them. So for now, when you load a PDF to your website, it will appear as a link. The example this is the web page that we're going to work with today. But the example of how it will appear is a link with the title of the document. And we're going to talk a little bit about cleaning some of this up and options for making that look neat and retrievable. But you will not see an actual image for your PDF. So those are reasons why you might want to have a documents page. And I'm going to put this right into chat right away. So for those of you who are following along with chat, and we will get this information added. This is the training document that we will be using for today. It is this will walk you through everything that we're covering today in that. So to begin with, if you wanted a documents page on your website and you do not currently have like a library board page on your website, send in a ticket to your help desk. We can create this page for you. We've got a couple of models that we would just need to insert and brand to your web page. You're more than welcome to experiment with creating your own web page, but this is a basic model that we can insert pretty easily and update for you, and then you can take over adding documents to it. So this is a page that we created for the Dresser Public Library for the library board. And it's a fairly simple page. We are using the Divi toggle modules here. When you click on the toggle here, it opens it up and you will see the list of the different agenda documents. And we haven't added anything to the library board meeting minutes yet, but that's a toggle. The annual report is empty currently, and the bylaws, I did add the bylaws, but those are currently where they belong. So to add some more documents to this page, which is mainly what you would be doing, is adding documents. I'm going to build on the back end where we have the block editor for Divi. You can add these on the front end, and I will also demonstrate that before the day is over. But I'm going to begin on the back end so you see what the structure behind the scenes is. So on the front, on the desktop view for this page, if I click on this, you're going to see exactly what I just showed you on that front page. We have the library board module, we have the image module, and then we have these 4 toggle modules. So I'm going to go back to my wide frame view, and I have those 4 modules with the library board meeting agendas, library board meeting minutes, annual reports, and bylaws. I'm actually going to start with the meeting with the agendas. So I did upload all of these just for an example, because I wanted to show you what it looks like. When I was given these documents, this is how the file is named on the computer itself. And so I had gone into the media library and uploaded these individual agendas and notices. So notice that on the documents page, it is using the exact name of the document for the link on the website. There's a couple things you can do to clean this up. If you don't want it to use the exact title name, we can do a couple of things. When you upload the media in the first place, you can change the name and the title right there. Or we can come in here and very carefully, we can edit the name of this document. So maybe I'm going to keep the date in here. I think that keeps it fairly clean, but I'm going to go ahead and clean this up. So it says, maybe we'll just say G.E. Anderson, but I'm just going to take library board. I'm going to take the underscores out, which make it look like a file. Beyond that, all I have to do is edit that, hit enter, or don't hit enter, sorry. Hit end and click away, and that has cleaned that up. So you can do the editing right in the text module. It's not difficult. Might be a little time consuming, but it's really not that. Especially if you're only doing this once a month, it's not that hard. So that is one option for making your links look cleaner. Another option for making the link look cleaner, and I'm going to save this one here. I'm going to demonstrate that as I upload the meeting minutes. So I'm going to add the files with the meeting minutes. Upload files. I save this in my downloads. And I have the meeting minutes here. So again, you see that we have the meeting minutes are named by file names, which is totally fine. And they're nice and neat and clean. I'm going to upload all of these minutes at one time. Normally, when you do this, you'll be doing this one at a time. So it's a little bit easier to manage. Okay, so they're all being clean here. I'm going to upload these one at a time just so that you see what we're doing. Okay, so this one is January 9th, 2023. If you look over, there is a title here, and it has the exact same file name. I can come over and clean up this file name over here. And hit select at the bottom, and it will insert it as that that file name. Again, if I wanted to change that for anything else, I would just overwrite it, or I could do that in the title of the document in the media folder. That was the 20. So there's a space for 2024, but I'm going to add a 2023 heading here so that we can upload it. I tend to like to upload my files in reverse order, so the newest file is on top. So since that was the January one, the next file that I would upload. Oh, and here's a trick. If you want these, if I hit enter here, it's going to create a double space. It's going to double space my files. If you are like me and you want all of your files in a line, the trick is shift plus enter, and it leaves only one space between the documents. I put that in a video today. So there's your trick, is the shift plus. So that was the minutes from January. We're going to look at the minutes from February. And again, I'm going to come here, 2013 or 2023 to 13 minutes, February 2023. You can decide what all you need to keep, but I'm going to stay consistent for the moment, and Leanne can change her files that she wants. And just like that, that link is uploaded. So I would rinse and repeat. and do the same thing. Oops. See, I do Control Enter instead of it's Shift Enter. A lot of places, if you want to leave an extra line, it's Control Enter. This is Shift Enter. So we didn't have a meeting in March, so our next meeting is in April.
I did. I don't know where it is.
Oh, okay. Then we add that later.
I
And that's the
will.
lovely thing of this.
I wonder where I went.
I think I downloaded everything, but I may have missed one, so it's entirely
I'll see.
possible. And again, you can clean up the file, the title and the file name wherever you like. Okay, so I now have a few of my meeting minutes and some of my agendas uploaded. But you see how you can upload a whole bunch into the media file. I usually add them one at a time. If you try to add, I'm just going to show you something real quick. Let's say you're like, oh, I'm just going to upload all of these. So we have May, June. I'm checking box for, sorry, May, June, and July. I've got 3 of these checked up here, and I'm going to hit select. What happens is it puts them all mushed together. They're separate links, but everything is visually mushed. I prefer not to do it this way, but you can do it this way. You just end up having to spend a lot of time trying to put things, figure out where one thing ends, the next thing begins, and then realizing they're out of order. So and then in fact, I broke up that link. It just gets messy for me. So I highly recommend sticking with doing one at a time.
I found it. It was the only one not saved as a PDF. But I save all my packet materials in folders, so
you can go back and find them really easy.
Yeah, so I found it.
Perfect. We will get that. Okay, so then now I just need to get rid of that ugly double space there, which is. And the thing that I find annoying is that the link thing likes to jump up in front of you no matter what you're doing. So sometimes you've got to figure out where you are exactly before there. Okay, so we've gotten halfway through the year of uploading meeting minutes, and we're going to leave that one at that. Because I want to show you a couple other ways. I'm going to update this.
What did you click?
Over on the far side, I just clicked update,
you clicked update
over here.
On the right.
Because again, I'm building on the back end. I'm going to go to the front end now so you can see what it looks like after it saves. I'm going to go back to build on the front end. So you can see what it would be like to add files from the Visual Builder. And there you go. Your closed banner is showing up just right. Okay. Oh, actually, it's not. Well, we'll look at that.
But I don't see it on that page.
Because we just went into the builder. So if I exit the Visual Builder, it will show up.
Because we're building.
Because we're building right now. Okay, so in the meeting minutes, the other option is to be on the Visual Builder and click on the gear. I do not. It is very tempting to try to edit from within this front end editor just the way it is right now. And you can type things in here, but when you're trying to add media and links, the full functionality is not there. You really do need to open the to get that gear icon and to open the actual module before you start adding additional links. So now it's going to pop up and you see the toggle settings here. Again, Shift Enter to make a single space, add media, and now we're on to 8, I believe is the next one that we want.
Yep.
And I'm going to clean that one up. I did not clean up the title. Shift Enter again, add media, and then I'm looking for September. It all looks pretty clean. And might as well finish out the year, hey? Do that. home, shift enter. And select. Okay, so now you just need, if you have a December meeting, you'll have those to add after they're approved or whenever you do that. And then you've got, where's the one that was missing? I'm going to make a space for, that's where the March one will go. I'm going to let Leanne add that one in a minute.
Okay. Yeah,
So
go
there we have the library board meeting minutes and the library board agenda. Now my question is to Leanne, how would you like your notice and agenda to appear so that how would you like the title in your library board? Do you want the Geraldine Anderson there? Do you just want library board? How do you want that to appear?
You know, I started doing it with the GE Anderson, GEA library board, because we changed our name in January of 2023, and I wanted the old library board information to sort separately from, and previous directors had the dresser, DPL. So I'm a stickler for trying to have everything sort together and nice and neatly.
I like you.
So definitely I kind of messed up on August there.
That's okay.
Or I might have pulled it over from the packet where I labeled it an agenda item so that it would sort neatly in the packet.
That's entirely possible too.
But I don't know that it really needs to say, I don't know how much it really needs to say. I think it certainly needs to have the date, and I think it probably needs to say library board notice and agenda.
So you might as well leave the GEA in there. It doesn't hurt.
Yeah, and maybe we just end up saying GEA meeting notice and agenda instead of library board, and that would be shorter. Oops. But I'll work on that.
Not what I wanted to have happen.
Think it through.
Shoot.
Going into next year.
Going in. That sounds like a problem for 2024.
Yeah.
But so what I might do is leave it like this for right now. It didn't save my change because I accidentally clicked on something I shouldn't have, which is why I advise against working on the front end sometimes, is because sometimes it likes to click on things and change things. But what I'm going to do in a second is I think I'm going to let Leanne, I'm going to turn this over to you if you don't have anybody coming in, and have you do a little bit, but I'll stop the recording before we do that. One thing I do want to talk about very quickly is how these look in your library. So I'm going to come back into here and I'm going to go into the media library. So I love your naming, and I highly encourage anybody who is going to update or upload PDF documents to your website to very much concentrate on naming your documents. The main reason being, if you look in a media library, you will see that all of the images have a really nice preview here. PDFs appear as a generic gray document. There is nothing to tell you one PDF from the next except for the title of the PDF. So if you upload multiple PDFs that are like Agenda 1 or Agenda 2, without a year, without a date, without any other descriptor, you're never going to be able to go into your media file gallery and separate out one agenda from another or one file from another. So naming your PDF files before you upload them is really, or coming in as soon as you've uploaded them and changing the title is really critical to being able to manage the files in your media gallery. WordPress Media Gallery is a little bit limited when it comes to sorting and organizing. The one thing you do have going for you is that once you've uploaded PDFs, it will let you sort by documents and PDFs. So if you're looking to see if there is a PDF, you can click on that and you can find all of the items that are PDF type files.
Oh, cool.
But like right here, we have one that's called untitled design.pdf. I don't know what that is, and I'm not sure what it's attached to. So the more specific that you can be when you name your files, the easier the managing of your media file or media gallery is going to be, media library. You can, and the search function is pretty darn good. Like if you wanted to find agenda, you can type in agenda and it will pull up everything that has agenda in the title. But again, it has to have agenda in the title for you to be able to organize and find it. There's also, like, it can also find spreadsheets, but you don't have any spreadsheets at this point. And it would also separate out any other like video files. So that is just one of those hints that, oh, I do have to forget, maybe do have a spreadsheet. Nope, no spreadsheets. Okay. So that's one of those things I do warn everybody about when you're adding media items to your library, to make sure that they are named well, because otherwise they're in there. The other thing about PDF files is they can be very large files. You think image files can be large. PDFs can also be exceedingly large. So I highly recommend, especially if you're going to upload any sort of PDF that has images or graphics, to use a PDF editor. And there's, I Love PDF is free. It's online. You don't have to download anything to compress your PDF. And if you select a PDF file, if you just have your minutes and your agenda, usually those are not a big deal. They aren't very large files to begin with. I mean, we're looking at 77 kilobytes here. But if you have a graphic annual report or a booklet, maybe you have a very thick summer reading booklet or something with a lot of images, like this 2024 trustee calendar, again, is not very large. But if you do that and you do a recommended compression here, this one took it from 136 kilobytes down to 57 kilobytes, which, again, that's not huge on your website, but the space adds up if you have a large file. So before you upload anything to your media gallery, if it is a large PDF file, I would compress it. The other thing to do is to go through, excuse me, if you are only saving, say, 5 years or 3 years of your board documents on your website, to go through and delete those out of your media library after they're no longer displayed on your website. And I would recommend not having more than 5 years of your board packets on your website, because again, they just begin to take up space. And we've run into several websites where it seems like the pages that have a ton of document links on it, it seems to be the number of links cause a page to fail in saving in the future. And so I would keep only 5 years worth of documents on a page. And if you want to create an archive page or something beyond that, that's fine, but only keep 5 years or so on a page.
Erica, I have a question.
Sure.
So I've been doing most of this for a while, but there's been a situation that's come up here where we've been talking about doing some policies online for the board members proper, but we don't necessarily want the general public to see all of those, because they don't need to. They don't need to see our personnel policy and that stuff. That's not necessary. So it was suggested that perhaps we could make it available to our board via password protected. Is that available here?
Good question. Yes, it is. The simplest way to do it, excuse me, I'll send dry. I'm going to go ahead and use this library board page that we were working on as the example. So when you're in the back end builder page, you could do this also, Denise, you could do this with a post. So if you just wanted to use a post that you add all of the links to, you don't have to build a full page. It's sort of a horse apiece, because then you could actually take, well, it's a horse apiece. I don't know that it matters if it's a page or a post, because they both have this option. Over in the publish box on that far right hand side, there is the visibility. And when you click on edit next to visibility, there is the option to do password protected.
Okay.
And then you can create a password for that space.
Okay, that's all. That's it.
That's all you have to do. So it's available in both a page and a post, Divi and WordPress. That is there. You will have to input what you want the password to be.
Okay.
The other option, you can't do both password and it, but you could do a private link, in which case they would have to have the exact link to get to it.
Okay.
So that's kind of a decision. Is it easier for them to have a website that is an unpublished website, an unsearchable website? Or is it easier for them to have a web page with a password?
Well, we're mainly thinking privacy and what we don't particularly want the general public getting into.
Yeah.
Perhaps under our board, we've put the trustee essentials now in there. And so I think we're just trying to put a couple of things in for the board members that the very few board members that are tech
savvy, there will be more
to get at anytime they, desire to look at them. We have one particular newer board member who's very much wanting to, and which is great. I think it's great to be familiar with what our policies are. And but she likes to do things online. So this is a way we thought. We were looking at Google in the Google Drive, doing a link to share the PDFs, but it's not, it doesn't seem to be very secure.
Yep. Well, and the other thing you could do with this is once you have that password protected site, you could either upload documents directly to your website, or you can, if you had another like a OneDrive folder or something that you wanted to create a link into that, then they could access the link through the password protected site. So you have a couple of different options. Once you've got that password protected site, you have a couple of options for how they would access those documents. That may also be a full board packet. Like you may want to, I think a lot of us are still mailing board packets. And the public doesn't necessarily need to see the full board packet. I know, and maybe emailing it out just gets clunky if the board packet is large or anything like that. You could also have a password protected site that they would log in, or they would just put in the password, and then you could put the entire board packet as a set of PDFs or a PDF, and then they could download it that way.
Great. Thank you.
Yeah, good question.
I may have to bug out just so you know. So if I disappear, that's why.
Not a problem. Any other quick questions on that? Otherwise, I'm going to let Leanne take over.
Okay.
Okay, well, I'm going to stop the recording here. I'm going to let Leanne do some running. And if anybody online has any questions about this, please go ahead and submit a ticket. And I will also try to put in the description of this any notes, any links, and also any chat information or ticket address information. So thank you all for joining today, and I will stop the recording